Let's tell some truth.
Would you like
You're talking about truth? In fact, I'm giving you the truth.
During a committee hearing on January 6th this week, Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin really kicks some ass. And I have to say, this largely flew under the radar compared to how things like this are normally covered when they happen. You know, I guess many things going on. It's easy to miss a moment like this, but I'm telling you, the more I see of Jamie Raskin, the more I like him. So I'm going to play a few clips here, and he does not hold back.
That's your guy. Donald Trump, he said he wanted no investigation. And so you pulled the plug on the investigation you originally advocated because Donald Trump didn't want it. Let's tell some truth.
Would you like
You're talking about truth? In fact, I'm giving you the truth. I'm giving you the facts about it. And then when Speaker Pelosi said, well, in that case, the House of Representatives will conduct our own investigation, then again, you guys boycotted it because you wanted to put pro-insurrection members on the committee. And so we ended up with a bipartisan committee of people really interested in getting to the facts. And you know what? This is what you guys can't stand. America listened to it because we had real congressional hearings. Unlike what goes on here with the temper tantrums and the diatribes, and too often our side gets pulled into what you guys are doing, but we had real hearings. And 25, 30 million Americans watching because we told the truth about Donald Trump's assault on democratic institutions and the right to vote in America. And maybe you can't handle the truth, but that's the reality, and nobody's laid a glove on any of the testimony that has come out during those hearings.
All right, so I got two more clips coming up, but I like this. This is the kind of strategy, and let's not even say strategy. I just think Jamie Raskin is being himself here. He can't stand these effing liars. These people are so full of shit. I have another example here. So they're going to get to discussions about this guy, Ray Epps. I'm going to get to what that's all about. It is just the most insane bullshit. They are throwing, again, Republicans are their own people under the bus in an attempt to try and discredit these investigations. It's the whole thing is completely nuts. So I think at this point, Raskin has probably had enough of the bullshit and is beginning to, I guess, lash out a bit. But this is the kind of emotion, kind of anger that you should be showing as a politician when you are trying to fight for reality, fight for people, fight for democracy, and you have one side, just making up garbage to try and deflect from all of it. So let me get to the next clip now where he begins to get a little more into it.
If at least our colleagues would accept the reality of what the rest of the country has embraced, Donald Trump's big lie is nothing but propaganda and disinformation. And the moment one of them says, you know what, we were wrong about this guy. He's an enemy of our constitutional order. He's a compulsive liar. And he's in it for himself. And he tried to convert the presidency into an instrument of money-making and profiteering on the backs of the American people, then I could listen to you. But instead, I heard on January 6th, members of this committee, members on the other side of the aisle try to blame the whole thing on Antifa. And when that didn't work, well then, let's crawl down some other rabbit holes and throw out some more propaganda. They spread the big lie further. It wasn't enough to lie about the election, a lie that was rejected by more than 60 federal and state court judges, including 8 named to the bench by Donald Trump himself. Every allegation of election fraud, every allegation of electoral corruption thrown out by the courts, including by his judges, and they won't say a word about it. But instead, they will come up with some utterly frivolous rabbit hole conspiracy theory to try to pull a smokescreen over the eyes of the public.
And I'm going to get to that rabbit hole conspiracy theory shortly here. But man, find the lie. I mean, he is on point with everything he is saying. He is saying it with emotion, with anger. This is the kind of way that Democrats should be messaging all of this. Expose their bullshit and do it with authority. Do it with passion. We were wrong about, him bringing up how, I'll listen to you when you admit you're wrong about Trump, which of course they're never going to do because the entire voter base, essentially the entire voter base, is with Donald Trump. And he brings up how, Republicans at the beginning claimed, oh, it was Antifa. Yes, Yes, Antifa, they're the ones that stormed the Capitol to try and steal the election for Trump. The amount of garbage these people spew out. So nothing else really to say there. But I'm going to set up the next clip. So this is about Ray Epps. All right. So Ray Epps is a big Trump supporter. He was at the riot. Now, Trump loyalists and Trump supporters are now claiming that Ray Epps he was put there by the FBI to rile up this whole thing and cause this entire insurrection. Ray Epps this is Ray Epps. He has now had to move. He's living in a camper out in, the middle of nowhere, hiding because people are after him over this lie. So Ray Epps suffered enormously in the past 10 months as right-wing media figures and Republican politicians have baselessly described him as a covert government agent who helped to instigate the attack on the Capitol last year. Strangers have assailed him as a coward and a traitor and have menacingly cautioned him to sleep with one eye open. He was forced to sell his business and his home in Arizona, fearing for his safety and uncertain of his future. He and his wife moved into a mobile home in the foothills of the Rockies with all of their belongings crammed into shipping containers in a high desert meadow a mile or two away. Quote, "And for what? Lies?" Mr. Epps asked the other day with a look of pained exhaustion. "All of this, it's just been hell." So you can read through more of this, see what Mr. Epps is going through, but you play with fire, some of you get burned. And this is a guy who, unfortunately for him, has now been caught up in their conspiracy theories, ones that he probably would be in support of if it was about somebody else. But it's about him, and all of a sudden he realizes how much bullshit this is. Though, from the sounds of it, I read this piece, I think he still supports Trump. So, has not really changed him in that sense. But now let's get to Jamie Raskin going after a Republican politician, Thomas Massey, over this.
Mr. Epps was in front of the January 6th committee, and we were told that a transcript of his interview would be released, but it's never been released. And I wondered, was he sworn
None
in?
of the transcripts have been released, so you don't need a conspiracy theory about that. We haven't released any of them.
Were you present when he was interviewed? That would give me
No, I was not. We've done more than 1,000 interviews. You guys are trying to make this poor schmuck who showed up to your protest into something a lot bigger than he is. Okay, he's just trying to survive, and he's on your side. You don't have many voters left. You might want to try to hang on to them without demonizing and vilifying your own people. But that's the Donald Trump way. Sell everybody else down the road. Unless you're going to get a pardon. Some people are still hanging around waiting for their pardon. But most people have opened their eyes about what he's done to our country. What he's done to his family. Have you guys ever read the book by Mary Trump about the way that Donald Trump has absolutely destroyed their family, wrecked her father's life? They do it to family, they do it to friends, they do it to their own associates and employees. And now you guys are doing it to this poor Ray Epps. Leave that guy alone, whoever he is.
It's kind of incredible to see a Democratic lawmaker have more empathy for a Republican Trump-supporting voter than actual Republican politicians. And it goes to making Raskin's point that they will sell whoever they need to out. They will throw these people under the bus. They don't give a shit as long as they can protect their own ass, as long as they can keep their own seats, as long as they can fall into whatever conspiracy theory bullshit they have to maintain their outpouring of support. It's gross and it's sad that so many people have fallen into to this brainwashing to believe this garbage. But the good thing is a majority of people don't. So that's, one of the silver linings here that continue giving me hope that most people have not fallen into this trash. Most people understand that Biden is the president and won the election normally, properly, without anything weird going on. And that people that were at the insurrection, yes, should be dealt with. The vast majority of polling, all of it supports that. People are on the side of actually dealing with this garbage in a proper way and understanding that Republicans are just full of garbage and are doing all of this to try and save their own ass. And it's good to see people like Jamie Raskin out there with some actual passion, some actual anger exposing that.